everybody.
Hello, everyone. I thought I was on, but I did not pop up yet. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SNXRadio. I'm Coley, also known as Coley UFO, and we have Pop Scary Spike Sr. And today we're bringing you something a little bit different. I guess that's on my screen. I was making sure it wasn't on my forehead. We've got Coley, and I think it's Pops and Coley's Town Hall. We obviously don't have the graphics or anything for it yet, but it's very exciting. We're going to be doing this on Tuesdays, and I don't think we're decided on necessarily an exact time, right, Pops? We're going to go with kind of see what's going on and see if we can find something that fits for everybody.
We're going to try for going for 5 or 6 Central, but it depends on the guest also, because a lot of guests are still working. They can't get here that early.
Yes. So we are going to try, and I know everybody kind of requested an earlier show. We're going to try and definitely do that, but we just kind of have to, base it upon everybody, not just what we got going on too. So real quickly, let's run through chat and see who's all here. I saw it popping. I don't get a chance to see it while I'm posting that link live, but it's definitely moving. And real quickly, Shelly Montgomery. Oh, great to see you, and thank you so much for that super chat. It's so greatly appreciated. And that's awesome. Do you want me to start at the top? I'll go through. Yeah. You guys see Cindy's here, Bigfoot fan 33. She's a part of Pop's panel. If you have not seen it, it's the second, fourth Monday of the month, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're a great panel. They bring some great guests. They had Roger Holler on last night, so definitely go over and check that out if you have not. We got Lori Ladd, Flamethrower Lori. She's also on that panel. Great panel. Standing Stones, great to see you. And Diane, it's great to see you always. Diane really brings, she brings some oomph to it, the chat room. I love it when she's in there. Nice to see you, Blackie. Blackie and Erica also have a great channel. Definitely go over to them and check their channel out. What day are they on? Sundays, Pops?
Sundays at 5 o'clock. It's Oddcast Podcast Off the Record. And I always post the links. So.
Oh, yeah, you're really good about that. We got the daddy. He says hello, Gary, to you.
Yeah, that's Richard Jr. is who that is.
Oh, okay. Yes, and we tonight, as you guys know, we have oh my gosh, I'm gonna Tennessee, Kentucky, Bigfoot, and Son. So very cool. It's nice to see everybody in chat and then get to see who put a face to the name. And I have John Allen. Is there anybody you have on your? Oh, Judy Wheeler. It's nice to see you.
Yeah. Judy's here. Mr. Catfish just come in. Amy Olo's here. Jason Finch just came in. Good to see you, Jason. Martha Haney, Cindy's roommate, is also here. The Cryptid Podcast is here. And Jean Hudson, one of my best friends, is in here tonight. There's Sherry Tango. She's a good friend also. That's everybody in here is good friends. You can't beat this crew that's in chat tonight.
No, you can't. Val's here, and Amy. Oh, yeah, I saw Amy. Amy is always nice. Andrew.
Now that's Andrew Dogman Trucker. Not just Andrew. It's Andrew Dogman Trucker.
I thought Lori said it was Andrew Pants on Trucking.
We call him everything under the sun. There's Moon at Noon. He's here tonight. Kurt W75's here.
Oh, awesome. Okay, Kurt. Hey, Moon. Always great to see both of you. And I think, have you found
I am Verax. Another good Canadian is here. I am Verax. And one of these days we're going to get him on the show. I'm hoping anyway. It'd be good to have him on the show. We also need to try to get Sherry Tango on the show one of these days.
I have Logically Insane. Welcome. Who, Sherry Tango? I'm not sure I know her.
She's on the road all the time. We need to get her at home and get her on the show, on a Tuesday night show sometime. She has a lot of experiences at LBL.
That's awesome. We have Roger Holler. He's got a great Squatch and Holler. And over at, what is it, the Untold Network or?
Untold Radio.
Untold Radio. Okay, great. And then we have BFD, Bigfoot Dwarf. If you guys have not, go over and subscribe to his channel. He's got a great one as well. And also for our guest tonight, obviously Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot. definitely go over there and subscribe to TKB. He's got a great channel. And do we miss anyone?
No, but we want to announce that next Tuesday night, Roger Holler will be back on Town Hall instead of Pop's panel. He'll be on Tuesday night Town Hall.
I'm really
So
looking
y'all
forward
be
to
sure
that.
and come back for that. And TKB's channel is scrolling across the screen right now.
Very cool. Yes. So do you want to give a little bit of a background on him, or should we just, go ahead and, I guess.
I sent it to you in email.
Yeah, no, I was going to say Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot, and father and son. They have a great YouTube channel dedicated to sharing authentic firsthand encounters with Bigfoot, Tennessee and Kentucky, hosted by Jim and his youngest son, Matt. So that's very cool. Their channel's over 30 years live, or 30 years, of living on the same family property and more than 15 active cryptid investigations. So that's 15 years. So they've been doing this for quite some time. That's awesome that I heard him talking a little bit about the property behind stage. So they actually live right there on that. So that'll be great. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring both of them on out here and we'll get this off of your face. There we go. Welcome.
Hey,
welcome. Yeah.
Hey, Jim, Matt.
Doing good.
Hey, this is really cool. I mean, Gary knows everybody because he goes all the chat rooms, and he knows
I know.
everybody.
Is it
And
crazy?
he's not going to get away with being the only person to say hi to people. I mean, I got to hit Gene Hudson. Yeah, Gene Hudson. That's one of Gary's favorites. That's one of our favorites. Barracks, cool to see Barracks. Wheeler, Roger. I mean, the people, like you say, they're just a
Lori Ladd.
I mean, it's amazing.
Lori's great. Skidder.
Yeah, there's that's a whole culture now, it seems like, of all the experience.
Yeah, and one we forgot was Standing Stones. He's in here too.
In there, right? I mean, it is just
Shelley Montgomery.
Yeah, we're excited just to be here with all the
Skidder
family.
Yes.
We left off a bunch. There's Standing Stones,
them.
Skidder, and I didn't hear you say it. Yeah, Skidder's here.
Yeah.
Standing Stones is going to be on Pop's panel later on in the year.
Oh,
all
cool.
Right.
That'll be
That's
fun.
good stuff.
That'll be a lot of fun.
And like I said last night, we are booked up all the way into November with guests.
Gary's on it.
And the thing
he is on it. It's so awesome. I'm like, man, that's it. I mean, to have that kind of demand, that's very cool. I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah, Pop's got to get Jean on here someday. Drag her out in the bushes.
Yeah, I'm working on that. That's going to be a hard chore, but I'm trying.
Yeah,
but she always gives us information through chat.
Right.
And so everybody be sure and listen to what she says because she's been dealing with it all her life.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's amazing to have that. I mean, it's great because I get to compare. I've gone out, but I've not gotten as close as obviously what you guys have had to the phenomenon. But what's your take on it? I mean, so you guys live out here on a property that kind of like Pop's, where they kind of keep an eye out for you, or I mean, how does that work out for you? I'm so interested to hear about this property.
Okay, you confused me about three things. So you're saying we live on the property and the cops protect us, the Bigfoots protect us?
No, the cops. Well, I would hope not. I don't think they would help you out there. But the Bigfoots, like the cryptids, like on Pop's, what he's got going on, they're very much like the land, and they watch over him and have that kind of relationship. I wasn't sure. Being outside of this, I wasn't sure if that kind of relationship was common, like when you share that type of. We have. I was just very curious.
Well, I guess you got to start from the beginning. I mean, our communication with Bigfoots is not like it's slowly coming out. People are talking more about mind speak, which is telepathy. But in our world, it's like mind speak is different. But and Matt, he started talking to trees probably 4 or 5 years ago, and then it went from trees to longer than my chance is longer than that. Since he was a little kid. But so I mean, really, we didn't come to know Scott is a Bigfoot that we talked to, younger guy. He just turned 20 this year. But anyway, we didn't know him until there was time through all of our processes that there was the trees and then something else. I can't remember what was after the trees, but anyway, it's been coming. And so anyway,
progression.
you could say that, yeah, we kind of understand, with Scott and his family. He had the things he taught us, the biggest things was family. Take care of your business, take care of your family, take care of your business.
Mind your business.
Mind your business and take care. And that's really been important for us to get that perspective. So, we respect Scott and his family, but he has a family and a life, and that's the most important thing is the children and taking care of your family. And that's been a message that and so him being our friends, we do know that if we need help, we've got help, because I feel because it's good to have friends. I don't think you can have a better friend protector than a good Bigfoot. If you ain't got a good Bigfoot friend, you need to get out in the woods and get one, because those guys would be the one that would could protect you from the crazy stuff in the woods.
Well, they give you signs of like a little sketchy feeling on your back. You feel nerve systems coming up. You're like, what is that feeling about? Well, it's probably one of the good Bigfoots warning you before you get into an area that there's something else that's back there that might mess you up. So it's like certain type of energy things that you start feeling from them, and
Well, let me interrupt you for a minute. Let's back up here. Y'all need to tell us about what you got, how you're living on your property, like you were telling me, like yourself.
Amish.
Well, it's actually homemade redneck Amish. Yeah. I've got to add the redneck in there because we're winging it, and we've been out here about 30 years. I'm ex-Air Force,
Well, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. I'm ex-Air Force. So we had come out here about 30 years because I wanted to get land. It's just always been a thing to get away. And so we started growing food and all that stuff before country was popular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We were, and so we've got where we had, I was telling you before, we have three groups of peeps coming in right now. So we're busy. We got a lot of kids. A lot of people think they don't have kids, but we have a lot of kids. Just in springtime, we have so many children. It's not even funny because we're trying to raise all these plants and all these little peeps and pets. And, we've been taking care of a fern. We found her a couple of days ago. A fawn. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so Matthew had to take some ticks out of her eyes and nurse her, put ivermectin in her and take care of her. And in Tennessee, they don't rehab white-tailed deer, period. And so you're like, what? Well, I'm not going to, so that we had to do our own thing. Anyway, she did pass away this morning. That's a sad thing about it. That's a long story there. We had put her out. I got in touch with some people. I'm going off on the topic,
Yeah.
Going off on the deer, the fern.
Well, it's what it is.
It's kind of related to what we do out here.
It's what we do.
We can't
we
really
try to take care of what we got in front of us, and we try to keep it within the laws without breaking laws and then getting called off because the laws saw that we did something trying to help an animal, and then we don't want to get in trouble for touching a deer, and you can get in trouble for it for some reason or something like that, and some other things.
Yeah, and I was telling you, it's kind of like a double-sided sword where we are out here and the land feeds us, and it's hard for us to get away. We don't get away. Usually someone always here between chicken hawks and snakes and chickens that need help or something, and so we're kind of I don't know, hillbillies and we're just a bunch of hillbillies. So that's the best way I could say it. But does that help any on that question?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I wanted you to give the people a little background on how you live out there. And we got somebody asking Roger Holler wants to know what area of Tennessee, not the city, just general area.
Oh, we don't care. We're in Knoxville. We're just like a couple miles from Oak Ridge National Lab. So we're glowing out here. You know what I'm saying? We're in this area that's glowing. So between us and the Bigfoots, but we have our own spring water.
We work on our own cars. We got our 1980s vehicles, and we take care of them. They're all diesels too, because we don't like messing with gassers with their electronics issues all the time.
We're pretty independent. I mean, we do have rental properties, but we don't actually rent them. Not many of them, one of them. But like I said, we're kind of like you, Pops. We're semi-retired, about 60. So we're doing enough that we come on here to hang out with friends. It's good entertainment to see everybody, and
talk about true experiences.
Talk about the weird stuff's going on. Sure.
Natural things that happens, and sometimes we just bypass a lot. you know, because it's so easy to bypass easy things. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there. I've got to ask you. We were talking backstage, and which I already knew anyway, Matt, that you talk to the trees, and you know, because of you, I actually started it. I knew they had tree spirits, but I didn't think about talking to them. Well, when I have to go cut trees, you know, saplings for walking sticks or cut limbs for walking sticks, I always apologize to them now and tell them that it's going for a good use and hoping that they don't mind, you know, just because of you. But what I want to know is, do they do like the Bigfoot do? You know, a Bigfoot, you'll either get verbal language or pictures in your mind. When they talk back to you, how do they speak? Is it verbal language, or you just get pictures, or what?
Okay. Yeah, I'll explain that, but I'll explain your tree stick, tree thing, cutting them down and saying you're sorry and such like that, and that that you're going to use it. That's the one thing I've heard from these trees, is that they want to be used for anything. Like they decide to die before. I mean, they will decide to die for the youngs around them. Like if they're going to be blocking too much, and it's for this tree over here to grow, because they see linear time from what I'm saying, where they'll be going to, if that makes sense. Let me get back to where, how do they talk to me and such like that through communication? It's how it all started was when I was down below. I was in elementary school, before elementary school, just the first time walking around, and I just like wanted to relax and like figure out what this world's about for the first time, type of deal. And I was laying down underneath this tree on a park bench, or on this little bench that, you know, Dad has, you know, and I was underneath the tree, and I was hearing the tree was just telling me about the history, because I had the question of, what is this life about, and is what is this whole thing made out of? You know, like, where can I go about this? And the tree was telling me the history, ley lines of what has occurred, at least for the area that we was at. And it was showing me the wagons that was running up the hill, going up over our peak hill over here and such like that, and showing me certain things that happens. And what it's visionary, and it's speaking. And what I'm recognizing over all these years, in this past couple months, it's been kind of preaching on to me that it's actually just the crystals talking to me. So the crystals within the tree that the tree pick up from the water and such like that, it's just a bunch of crystals. It's all natural. I mean, that's how we are communicating right now. There's a crystal display thing going on with your camera. There's a crystal and the wires and such picking up my voice, a vibration of crystal inside my throat that's vibrating in a certain type of tone where you can hear me. Everything's a vibration. Everything's a crystal. Everything is toned in. And there's one true tone that's in between all of it. And that's where God resides, you know, and that's how a flower is supposed to grow and such like that. I don't want to, I think we're doing good. I think it's all good. I think that I explained it, but.
So the answer is you get pictures and vocal. It's not really out loud vocal, but they're speaking in your mind vocally, like we're talking right now. But you also get pictures. I see that's the way they talk to me on how the Bigfoot and the Dogman talk to me, is with pictures or with vocal. And I was just wondering if they was the tree spirits talking, because I haven't learned to hear the tree spirits yet. I do tell them, I'm sorry, I've got a red oak out here in my yard that is bigger than I can reach around. So it's 200 or 300 years old, and half of it has died. It just makes me sick because it's passing away, you know, and it's going to fall. I've lost several. Yeah. Well, all my red oaks are very, very old. I'm like y'all, I've been on this place since 71, and they were all here when I got here.
Oh, wow. Oh, I get that. And they're all super strong and big, and you're seeing this one. He's like, want to get on out of here. Like, hey, man, no, you get back.
I hate to lose them.
Yeah, we got one tree up here because I mean we know all the trees. We just don't talk about it online because not many people are interested in what trees have to say. It's just not a topic. But we have one he's a comedian, right? He's always been a comedian, and he keeps telling us to use him, and we're kind of And this year he gave up. That he quit. He's quit on me, and I'm going to have to use him this year. And he's a tall one. I'll show you a picture of you. Like, holy crap, we got big trees. But he's a tall one. But yeah, he has given up. But even though he's left the tree, his essence is still there. So Matthew could still talk to the guy, even though the guy is basically dead.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he got no leaves, but he's still there. It's his enzymes and such that's going on. You know, the decomposing part of him that's still talking through him type of deal. I guess that's how you want to see it. Or
like I said, it's something I'm just learning, and I'm learning it. I learned it from you. So I thank you for that, because your dad told me about you speaking to the trees, and I got to thinking about it. I said, every living thing has a spirit, so that's probably right. So I try to remember to always apologize for getting part of them and tell them that they are going to good use. Now, I've already had people in the chat that wants to know about the giant.
Ooh,
so you gotta tell us about the giant.
Just one thing about the trees real quick. Okay. Let me just finish up the trees topic, because there was this big old white cedar that we were supposed to pick up. I saw that in my vision. It was this big old white tall tree, cedars. We're going to have to pick it up. And it was, we were going to go down below to put up a little telephone pole with a light on it with a camera system, such like that on it. We were just looking for a tall pole. And I told Dad, and I saw it in my visionary, I'm going to be looking up that hill and I'm going to see this big, tall, white tree. And so and behold, we went up to the top of the hill and there was this one white tree. Out of all the trees, he was white. I was like, what the heck? What type of tree is it? And I went up to it. It was a cedar. We cut it down and brought it down and we used it. And it's still being used today. He's still being used. He's happy. He saw linear time of like he wanted to be used for something. And that was one of the something he wants to be used for. So you can tune in to like what your staff is going to be used for, and these certain, you can look at the wood and talk to the wood spirits and trees and say, I want to do this. Who wants to be a volunteer for it? And then you go walking through the woods and you'll find them. That'll be the perfect branch or a perfect tree or the perfect limb, such like that. But
I don't just go out and grab any limb. And I go out and get the ones that are talking to me. I mean, they're not telling me in my head that, hey, pick me, But I look at a tree, even though it's a limb and it'll be real crooked, but it appeals to me. And I said, that's it. That's the one I got to make a walking stick out of. Now, whether anybody ever takes it or not, it's a different story. But to me, it makes a beautiful walking stick. And I guess you'd say it wanted me to pick it because it said, in my head, it said, that's it. This was the one. So I understand what you're talking about.
It's all in time. It is true. That tree did want it. That tree does want to be used. All the wood that we have around wants to be used, that we used to build our house, that wanted to be used, first before it got cut down,
Okay. How are we going to talk about George the Giant?
All right. How do you open up that?
Yeah, how do you open up that can? We got to tell you, we had a friend of ours just, I don't know how many years ago. My years was just all crowding together. I'd say 5 years, and Tina's like 10, and it's probably 10. Hell, I don't remember. But we had a friend that can do remote viewing. Right? That's a skill that Matt might be able to do. I don't know. I haven't really asked you if you can remote view, but remote view, you can go and see something, right? And so, and at that time, we had some bad experiences, and I thought everything was a demon at that time. So, we were going through a lot of learning that no, maybe not. But anyway, so she could remote view, and we told her our experience that we had in Kentucky. It was a traumatic experience, and she remote viewed it. First of all, she went, and she came back, and he goes, nope. She goes, I went. She goes, there's a giant. There's a guy. And she goes, really? She goes, first, and she went, and she's like, no. He's a real man. He's over 20 foot tall. He wears clothes. He's there. And so she said, well, First, I ran off and said, no, I'm not doing this. And then she went back and says, well, okay. So she went back and she's like, for real? And he tried to put his hand through her, you know, but she's etheric and couldn't. But, and she's like, no, I'm remoting here, you know. But anyway, she's the one that told us about George. And that was, you know, he had went through talking to trees. And then I think it might have been the Appalachian Dragon. But eventually, then Scott, the Bigfoot, and slowly these connections came in. And one day George came in, basically. And that's how we met George. Right?
Yeah, then George did the mountain thing.
You want to tell him that's kind of the first thing that he was involved. He was involved in our lives at the first beginning. We had, and that experience. We don't tell a lot of shows because, you know, we don't talk about a giant until people are still trying to get Bigfoot in their stuffed in their head, less a giant. And but he had that night that we had been attacked. He heard the commotion. He jumped off the mountain. We heard this big boom. That was boom. That was him jumping off a cliff and landing on this ridge above us. And then you heard him come down, boom, 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 coming down the mountain. You're like, holy crap, what the hell have we done now? Because when we went through, and so that was our first experience with them. And then we were gifting up in there, and they when we went up there to gift, and we got this gift. It's a bottle of whiskey, bourbon. And George had set that down with his finger and his pinky, and it was actually used, that bottle. Can you grab it real quick? Yeah. That bottle was used for Scott, which is a Bigfoot. His mom drank some of it when she was giving birth for the nausea, and they also rubbed some on the baby's chest for, which is their little girl. The Bigfoot lives out here now, but they rubbed it on his chest to help her. So that was given to us by George the Giant. So you can imagine how, you know, that's our prized possession, because that's what for it was used to help the mom. That's Scott's mom, and so that's kind of our for colic. They used it for colic on the baby.
That's what George did. George picked it up with his pinky and his thumb to the Bigfoot, Scott or his mom or something like that. He gave it to them two, and then she used it for the birthing and such like that, and then Scott had a hold of it, and then her parents are done with it, or one of them. They just gave it to us, and as a display for us when we came back to that 7-mile dirt road to a mile hike out there
to our gift area,
to our gifting area.
So that kind of made it back to us.
That's how it all came together. I mean, it's been several years for me to try to figure out what actually happened, because I thought George was the one that sat it down like that, but it was very unique how it sat down, like had been placed there perfectly. So it's like, how do the big hands do all that?
Yeah.
Well, it's because of the Bigfoot. He's the one that put it in properly and set it down. But that was a gift from George to him.
Okay, so this is how. So that's it. I'm bringing George into the picture, how he came in, and then George was on a, what do you call the what's the word for it when you siesta, when you religious thing, sabbatical. Basically, he had left he's up right now. He's up with his family. We still talk to him all the time. Anytime you talk to him right now, but he's still, it's like up there. I don't know. We should say North Pole. Yeah, okay. Yeah, his folks, you know, they have their own place, and anyway, he's the thing is he was running around. Basically, they have they have the same kind of problems we got with religious stuff, priests and all that stuff, and crowns on their head, right? And we have a friend on ruling over and all that kind of stuff, right? You know. So that was the part he was trying to, basically, I needed to shake this, and so he kind of went out on his own. That's how he got involved with us. That he was kind of running around. But him and Scott eventually went down to Australia. That's where Chloe, she'll tell you that, you know, one day she says, "Hey, your Bigfoots came out here." Yeah, they rode Scott's back.
No, George's back.
George's back across the Pacific to get to Australia and visited Chloe, and that's how. So there's been a lot, and then he talks about a place. George, we've had so many experiences with him because we just, "Hey George, what are you up to?" And one day we was like, you know, I'd ask Matt, I said, "Hey, what's George up to?" And he's like, "Well, he swam down. He's in the Pacific, and he swam down really deep. He could hold his breath for an hour. All right, he's a giant. He swam way down, and he come to this cave, and he was coming up through it at the time that we were just checking on him. And he had it's really slimy banks, and he got up on it, and he had there was like 2 or 3 caves, and one of them had like a purple light or something. He followed that light. Anyway, he went to where his gang, they still got
giant beneath the ground
families and all.
Yeah.
Civilizations, I guess you could say. I don't know how big they are. I don't know if
They're
they're
not
that big.
but yeah, they're big.
They're still family units or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm cramming George's story in there, but we've been talking to George for 2 or 3 years, and now, like I said, he has kind of consoled things and is back home and stuff. But he took Scott, our Bigfoot, to Australia, and then our Scott came back, and he took him through Russia, and he saw a Yeti, and our Bigfoot was blown away. Scott was amazed at a Yeti. So it just showed you, even one Bigfoot looks at another big and goes, holy crap.
Because there was a young Yeti, but he was all white, and he hasn't saw a white Bigfoot that was born like white. So it was like a lot of stunned things about the Yeti being him, totally different than the way he is. He's all black with black hair and kind of red hair too, kind of like a mix.
Yeah, Scott's red head, 6 toes, right?
Yes, 6 fingers,
6 toes.
6 fingers.
And
his mom got 5.
And we call it copperhead people, because I mean, to us, it's the copperhead people are the ones that came from Mars, the Vikings, the ones that like cold weather, and they're very tough and they're very strong, and they come down in through Ireland, right? And you guys can relate to all this. You're probably feeling your DNA going, hey, that's all true. And they're very strong, passionate people. I call them redhead. I call them copperhead because that's copper antennas. They have the ability to sense better. And but they're very Angel Wings is one of our friend Jamie. She's copperhead. Chloe copperhead. Most of the people we know are copperhead. I'm amazed how many copperhead people we have around us, which are people that kind of have the copper antennas. You got copper hair. And they're, for some reason, they seem to be they're more open.
Yeah, we're growing copper wires out of our heads all the time. I don't know if anybody ever noticed. Just
clear something up for me right quick. You said that George is a giant, but he's not a Bigfoot.
Right.
He's a giant. Start at 20 foot tall and taller. So if anybody says there's a giant and he's under 20 foot, it's not a giant. A teenage giant might be about 20 foot tall,
15 foot tall.
Yeah,
teenage. Yeah, that'd be 20 foot. Yeah. Near 20 foot. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not a Bigfoot.
No, he's not. He's a real man. He wears clothes.
Yeah, he wears clothes.
Okay.
Scott would wear clothes for certain circumstances too. But
have you seen Scott's father?
No, he's a traveler. I see him visionary, but not physically. I don't think.
So you don't know how big he is.
Yeah, he saw Scott physically. Now Scott's black, but Scott's father is red, 6 toes again.
Mm-hmm.
6 fingers.
So he's got 6 toes, 6 fingers, but his mom got 5 toes, 5 fingers. Yeah.
But you don't know how big Scott's father is.
Scott's father, from my side of understanding, it's probably about 10 foot.
Okay.
About, I should say, yeah. So yeah, he's kind of tall, but not that extremely tall than a lot of those Bigfoots.
The reason I was asking is because my alpha Bigfoot is 16 foot tall.
16 foot.
Yeah. And that's the reason I was asking. Is I didn't know if George was a Bigfoot or if I didn't fully hear that earlier.
Yeah.
And I wanted to clear that up.
Yep.
Because there is Bigfoot that are 16 to 20 foot tall.
Yeah. And the information we got that giants start at 20 foot above came from a giant, so I kind of trust it. That's came from George, and so far it's been matching all the criteria. Like you said, your Bigfoot's about 16 foot to 20, but like you said, that would
that's
20
the northerner Bigfoot, by the way.
They're
right. 15 to near 20 foot. Yeah, that's the more northern type of Bigfoots from what I'm seeing.
But like you said, a Bigfoot might make it up to 20 foot tall.
Yeah, it might. Yeah.
Yeah, there is up north. There's 20 footers. But see, I'm down here in south central Oklahoma, and the big man's been here he's over 300 years old, and he watched over my great grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, my aunt, and me all my life. So he's been here most of his life. He is now 16 foot tall. So it's not just the northern ones that get tall. Some of the southern ones do too.
That's one thing that I heard from Chloe, that when she was back here in Tennessee not long ago, she even said Scott is about 120 or 220, and his dad is 300 or 400 and such like that. And I'm like recognizing, geez, I didn't really tune into recognizing how old they can really be, but I'm like, if they get that old, I do see how they can get big. Pretty fast. For just 100 years gets you tall type of deal.
They get very old. Like the big man's mate, I call her Mama. She's over 100 and she's over 10 foot tall, which is very tall for a female.
Yeah. Dang.
Well, Texas grows them big. You know what I'm saying?
Everything in Texas is big.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not in Texas. I'm in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oh, you're close.
You're close now. They can just walk across up through there.
Yeah, I'm an hour and a half from actually not even, I'm an hour and 15 minutes from the Texas line.
Hey, Pops, our Bigfoots avoid Oklahoma. There's something to do with the energy. They will actually go around Oklahoma. Isn't that crazy? I don't know what's going on, but Oklahoma's got a lot of energy movement.
A lot of movement is what I see. Like, I don't know what it is, like underneath underground tunnels and such like that. And
who
knows what goes on with that and what
and
they
ley lines
underneath there.
There ley lines across right there at Brown Springs, which is on the Red River between Oklahoma and Texas. One of my favorite research areas.
Yeah. Well, you had wards there. We had a lot of the Choctaw and the Bigfoot, of course the Bigfoots got thrown under the bus when it was the or government mutants or some other new design of monster that they've put out there. But I want to say that in our family, our great grandfather, he was walking out in the woods, and there was a hairy guy that he saw him. He was standing behind a tree. Anyway, he just stood there, and the hairy guy tripped and fell down. So my great grandfather laughed at him, and of course the hairy guy got up and laughed at him, but they eventually shook hands. And see, that Bigfoot is just a new word. I mean, they used to be the hairy people or the force people, whatever you want to call them. There wasn't no such thing as a Bigfoot. It was just people that were hairy, and you never thought anything of it. My grandfather, they would put food out by the line. It's always been, so they've been following our family. And we went out last time we went out, and there's 3 owls that came in on us after we lifted a bunch of gifts, because then they turned into coyotes. By the time they got hit, that was the Bigfoots, and they were celebrating my great grandfather. They thought they were John's family, and we didn't know that till later on. I freaked out, ran for the truck. But you know how it is learning these things. But so we get a lot of energy because we're John's family, that the ones that know them, so that's something that like I said, they know your great grandparents, and and now you're the family. They trust you more than they can most people. I think we're in the same boat,
Yeah, and you know why, don't you? We respect them, and so they respect us back. And it's not just our clans; it's all of them. Like I told you before the show, the only reason I ever started doing these shows is because I got tired of people saying, "Oh, they're all demons. They're all bad. They all need to be killed." No, they are not. The majority of them are good. In fact, there's more bad of us than there is of them. Both Dogman and Bigfoot. They are good, and they don't want the technology. They want to live their life just like we want to live ours. But we went a different route. We went with the technology and being dumbed down. At one time, our race had the same abilities that they've got. And some people still do, just like mind speak. How long, look how the Nazis tried to research telepathy and telekinesis.
They spent a lot of money on that too.
Yeah. Well, the Bigfoot do that, and we do that. Now, the name Bigfoot didn't come out until the 1900s. Yeah, each Native American tribe has got its own name for them. And in fact, the Bigfoot don't like being called Bigfoot. They'd rather be called Sasquatch.
Yeah. Or the hillbillies or the hobos in the woods.
Yeah.
Or Appalachian ones, you can call them hillbillies. They like that.
Forest people.
I don't know what the Rocky Mountains like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wild men in the woods. Something.
But you understand what I'm saying, because that's what tickles me. We're basically the same mindset on the cryptids, and you're out there with them. You've got clan right there with you that watches over you. So I'm proud of y'all for going out and telling your stories and showing people that they're not all bad. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, Gary, that's the thing is I've seen people in the chat room throughout the years coming out, and you were one of the first. And I was, that's the reason I was like, oh my gosh, we got one that knows. We got to know her. We got to know her.
Hey, Dad, we can talk now.
Right. Then you have people like Gene sticking out there, and I'm like, there's someone else that knows. But it's been a lot of. It's
Janice Appleton too.
Yeah, Janice
Appleton.
Carter.
She tried 50 years.
Yeah, Midwest. Yeah, Midwest. I mean, we got so many that have come out and said, hey, I've had experiences, and these people ain't crazy. So I'm like, phew, thank God, because that limb, I thought the limb was going to break, man.
Well, it is getting more popular. The reason, and I agree with her, the reason I wouldn't come on the shows, the reason Gene won't come on the shows, is because we were ridiculed for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the reason most people won't come out with the good side of the stories. In fact, there's a couple podcasts that if you try to say something good about a cryptid, they'll shut you up. Literally shut you up right there on their show, saying, no, they're all bad.
I think, but we know.
Well, I was in the same mindset. I went down the same road of they got to be demons. They got to be Nephilim. So I studied. I'm like everybody study, go out and watch videos, watch people's examples, think. That's the main thing, is everyone could keep proceeding. Don't stop with an ideal. You got to keep your mind open. I'm kind of a hard-headed person, so I have to get myself to shake myself out of that and keep pursuing the truth, and like you said, Gary, it's been a long ride. It's really good to see you. If I see you on YouTube, I'm jumping in, because like I said, you're one of those that you were in the background, shadows working forever, it seemed like. So to see you, and I'm in. If Gary's there, I'm in.
We're here.
I appreciate that. Now that you brought that up, I got another question for you. And this is what everybody wants to know on every show. What do you really think they are?
Trying to get the truest answer I can put,
Yeah, it's just your opinion. Nobody knows. So it's just your opinion of what you think they are.
I'm just trying to connect into that energy and see what they wanted to say of who they really are,
Yeah.
And really, from what I'm seeing, is they are just like what you said, just want to be the forest farmers.
Yeah.
They're just in the forest and trying to take care of the outskirts woods, what they are really good at. That's it. You're like a tree growing. What is it going to produce itself as it is? As if it's a chestnut, it's going to produce chestnut trees, chestnuts, where you can eat it, peaches, peach tree. They are what they are. They are people in the woods that are trying to take care of their family and try to stay out of the cities. They are of the woods. They stay in the woods. They can't live without the woods. They're so mind-hearted. So many people ran out of the cities going into the woods. Jesus did it for 40 days. I bet he wanted to stay too.
That's what I say. If it was possible, I'd be right out there with them. I would live out there with them. I wouldn't be where don't get me wrong. I love my place. I love the people in chat, the family I've made on here. But if I had my way and could do it, I would be living right out there with them. Mm-hmm. But we were dumbed down. We were bred away from it. Now, some people still have the ability to get out there and walk without leaving tracks. They have the ability to run without leaving tracks. Mm-hmm. Just like the cryptids do. They can, they can go through the woods without making a single noise. But they're the exception now. They didn't, it used to, it was all that way, but not anymore. And that's the beauty part about it. And I agree with you 100%. They are a people that just love to be free. Put it pure and simple. They love to be free.
Now I've got to step in and answer that question too. Now, since I'm a Gemini, I'm going to give you two answers.
He's two people,
and they're going to be opposing.
So is my son. His birthday's today. That's great.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well,
happy birthday, Brody.
I was born 6/6/66. I'm just kidding with you. 4 days later, I would have been. I always tell people that birthday.
Ooh, yeah.
Happy birthday to your son.
Well, happy belated birthday to you. Thank you. I'll let him know.
Yeah, it's coming up real soon. I just want to put it on the internet. I don't know. Someone will be like hacking my bank and find that I ain't got no money. But so as a Gemini, I'm going to give you two things that really, one is it Esau, and is that the lineage? And then lately, and I ain't asked God. I'm like, no, I'm gonna find out myself. I guess I don't know. But the other one is, are they even from this planet? I mean, I can't tell you. It's one of those things with Bigfoots. I'm on both. I'm on both sides of the road. Esau was Genesis 20:20. 25:25. He was born red and hairy like a garment, and they had to trick his dad with putting a hairy garment on his hand, all that. And he's red hair. Is that the Bigfoot lineage? I don't know. Are they from this planet? I mean, that's for me, Gary. That shows you how I'm still don't have. You can check either box with me.
Well, ask Matt. I mean, Matt, you need to ask your Scott and find out his heritage. Now, I just say my experiences and what I have learned from my clan. My clan are roundheads. They're not a conehead. They are from Esau. They are from this planet. Their lineage is not from another planet. They are from this planet. According to what they told me, God made them just like he made us. And even my Dogman pack is the same way. God made the Dogman pack according to them. Because I have Dogman here too.
Well, you're going to make me lean now back towards Esau's direction, because I've just remembered.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just remembered. That recently Scott was. They did not want to work with the ET star people.
Yeah,
it's just not one of those things.
Yeah,
and everybody says, well, we see them coming out of and going into UFOs all the time. Well, look at it this way. The aliens experiment on us. They experiment on cows, horses, all kinds of animals. Don't you think they're going to experiment on Dogman and on Bigfoot too? Mm-hmm. They're going to.
Most definitely.
And according to my clan, and according to other people's clan, now, if you don't want to take my word, talk to Gene. Mm-hmm. Right. Gene knows a lot more about it than I do. I've just been learning the last few years.
I agree.
But according to them, they hate the aliens as bad as we do.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's what we went through. Is Scott would, if you're, he would avoid certain tunnels because of ETs, and they wasn't working with them. But what happened recently in the last year or so is he needed the ET's help to work on some pollution, water pollution, mermaids and stuff.
Work with the creatures of the water, mermaids.
So, this is him sticking his neck out a little bit because their technology's better.
It's meant for underwater.
Yeah, meant for underwater.
Yeah,
so are they intraterrestrial or extraterrestrial? But anyway, you never hear anybody talk about terrestrians. But anyway, he had went and was working with them. And then one day he went into their little ship and went up, whatever, and there was someone else there, and that wasn't part of the deal. And he basically started jumping up and down and everything in that ship, and they realized he would crash it. So they almost crash landed basically to get him out. But it just shows you they don't have a great working relation, trust. They try, and he is trying. He did try. And so I'm like you, that makes me put him back in the corner of Esau's family than ET, because I would think that would be that makes more sense to me.
Well, if it's Esau, from what I'm saying in my head, and I'm still doing, devil's advocate type of deal, not really, but with myself. But so many names, is Scott the Bigfoot that we're working with, is he actually Esau? Well, I saw his head. I did see him up in the shadows up there. He had a round head. He looked like this, no real neck, but he's like that.
Yeah.
And broad shoulders, very broad. And from what I see, that he is a Esau. And, you cannot put one past him. Like, some people, you cannot put anything on somebody or have a ordeal against this person and they not sniff it out. That's how I see him. I'm like, and it makes more sense that he'll be like an Esau. Once he gets a sniff of some type of agenda going on, he is completely out. He is a deal breaker. He will break the deal because you broke it first with that one sniff. That's done. That's their energies. That's how they act. They get one whiff, they go off the charts. Janice Carter even said that too. You have to be very stubborn, strong, and stand found looking at them whenever you need to, because they will bust over you without a thought in their mind.
Yeah.
But you have to be very stern and strong against them.
They sense that nervousness in you, that lie in you.
They run right over you.
Sense your aura, and they see it's not big. Your aura's shrinking. You're a liar. I'm popping you, baby. Right. So I'm with you on that one. They definitely are tuned in.
It's not
you can't honey fake these guys.
It's not like they'll run over a baby fawn. No, they'll make the baby fawns protected, but run off dang gun coyotes are around of it, right? Type of deal going on there.
Where do you think the Native Americans learned to take care of the land? Every time they would have to put something down for food, they would apologize to it and pray to the Great Spirit and thank the Great Spirit for providing food. That's where do you think they learned it? They learned it from the forest people. Jim, you were talking about terrestrial and intraterrestrial and all that. 1 Corinthians 15, 39 and 40. Check those out. Let's check out those two verses. I mean, not right now, but look at those two verses.
Yeah, he's just writing it down.
Wait, did you say 59, 39, 40? I don't think I said those numbers.
1 Corinthians 15, 39 and 40. The Bible talks about that.
Okay, cool. I'll check that out because, I think most of it, because since I always go the opposite of everybody, and all I ever hear is extraterrestrial. And I'm like, how come no one talks about the ones living in the earth?
Yeah.
Like, that's the one I'll talk about. I don't even care about the extraterrestrials anymore. I'm like,
what
about the ones that work down there? What about the ones down below us?
Everybody's going to take it, read it, understand it different. You have to ask God to explain it to you the way he wants you to understand it. But those two verses talk about the terrestrial and the extraterrestrial and everything else. So just check it out when you get time and see what you think about it.
Cool.
Heck yeah.
Because I know that's one of the things you told me that Matt is really into is God and Jesus. And I'm proud of any young man that is into God and Jesus.
Yeah, they have. We've had. They've come in and out, and he'll be like, "Oh my gosh, it was Jesus," and he's like, I didn't know it was him. He felt like feminine, really feminine, and you could tell. I'm looking at Matt going, "Oh my gosh," because Matt can't make up this stuff. He can't. He ain't smart enough to come up with the stuff he does. So it just,
Yeah.
It's telling you the truth. I'm not smart, guys. I don't know nothing.
But yeah, Jesus has been. He will every once in a while come in, and he's been. He was telling us some stuff the other day, kind of blew our mind, and then and God has come in more and more often.
It comes in like math equations.
Yeah, God's like was telling us basically the math of the earth is basically he created dirt, then he created a flower, and then he created a butterfly, and the butterfly relies on the flower for reproduction, and the flower relies on the butterfly for reproduction, and that was the proving math of everything that exists that you see now. And then Adam and Eve had broke the math program, and then he put us in a knowledge-based stacked system, and that's where we're at now, where there's a control system because we got out of check with the law. The law is
Nature.
Nature is the law. Marriage is between two, and they recreate from love, and that's the law. You break the law, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
But anyway, God's basically all about math. It is all math.
It's
It proves
imagery.
it. Math proves God too.
It's imagery math is what it is. It's a
Yeah.
concept that really multiplies just by physical attributes, if that makes sense. But yeah.
Well, any believer, anybody that's got the faith and is trying to live the life of a Christian, God is going to give them information. You might not understand it at that moment, but he's going to give you the information that you need to get by. And it's coming through you, if you know what I mean.
That's right.
Yep.
I mean, I can't quote the Bible. I know what the Bible says, but I can't quote it. I've read that Bible I don't know how many times. But as far as quoting it, no. But I bet within just a short period of time, you're going to be quoting the Bible, Matt. I just got that feeling.
Well, it's been kind of interesting. It was with that math problem that Dad was talking about, the ground, flower, and the butterfly. He came through telling me through a Bible verse, which is John 3:16. For God so loved the world. Well, that first part, exactly. Well, that first part right there is the first step that everybody walks by. Forward.
Did you know that
God
they have changed that now? If you go buy a new Bible, it does not say that he gave his only begotten son. They left the begotten out.
Wow. And that's the
Wow.
thing. That's another thing you've probably heard is that Bigfoots can't be saved. But John 3:16 says, whomsoever.
Ever.
That's right.
And Jesus puts you back on the path. A lot of people, now this is my opinion, a lot of people think, well, Jesus puts you back on the path that you got off on, the path that takes you to God, but you still got to do that ladder, that walk to God,
Right.
So,
But you hadn't seen the pictures. Gerald, Midwest Night Watchers, made a couple pictures for me just because of one of my experiences.
They have a chance, right?
4 Bigfoot and 4 Dogman were praying with me along with Gene Hudson. And my 3 local.
right.
So there was 11 cryptids praying with me to save my life, to keep me from dying. I was having a heart attack.
Yep. Wow.
Nobody will ever change my mind on that. I know for a fact that's what was going on. And I've got pictures now of them holding their arms up with Jesus up above them. Get that girl made for me, and I just love them.
That's so good. Heck
But
yeah.
yes,
I remember
they are spiritual just like we are. They pray to God just like we do. They are saved just like we do. And when the time rolls around, we're going to be seeing them. Yes, we are. And that's not just Bigfoot, Dogman too. All the cryptids. God made everything on this earth. Now, I will admit that they have cloned them and made war-type Dogmen and Bigfoot. Yes, that has happened. But the majority of them God made.
Yeah, I remember. No, you're right. I remember. Yeah, I remember when you were having health problems. You kind of went out for a while, went quiet for a while, and like I said, you come back and was doing better. But you were kind of quiet about it, and I remember the comments you have to, you were out there, and the Foots had been around helping you and stuff, and at that time,
they're healing me.
Yeah,
like God does not always do it himself. He will utilize anything and everybody Just like he utilizes doctors to do surgeries and to help heal people, he uses the cryptids to help people too, to heal people also.
That's one of the things I was hearing from Jesus was what creates an angel and what creates a demon. It's the moment in action is what he told me.
Yeah.
At that moment when someone needed you, you're the angel for that person, or you could be the demon. I mean, geez, you got one of the choices to be. And it's not to be, oh, I'm going to be good. And yeah, I'm a good two-shoot. No, that's true-hearted. It's where you wanted to be. You know, you're like, no, this person needed help. I'm there for them. You know, however.
That's why the Bible tells you to let your light shine. Don't hide it under a bushel basket.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. You better keep that fear and all that stuff out. And keep her, because if you don't, you'll get sick. Because that's your aura that keeps everything away, spiritually, physically. You know, you got to keep your light. You got to keep your eyes on good things, know good people, be around good things, watch good things, do good things. Right? I mean, that's kind of the whole ball game. And you got to keep your light bright.
God uses every one of us. We don't know how he uses us. We don't know what our job is until he tells us. That's just like me and my bad health. God allowed that for a reason. God didn't do it. God allowed it. And he did it for a reason. Now, what that reason is, sooner or later, he's going to tell me what that reason is. Right now, I'm just thinking it's for a testimony to show people what God and what cryptids can do for us, because the cryptids are the ones that's been healing me.
Tina wanted me to tell you about the story that happened with talking about God here was when George, I finished the story when George went down and he come up and he found that small group of giants that he was with. And they're between like I said, that's between Hawaii and Mexico, that place underwater. But anyway, we had been talking about John 3:16. And at that time, George had realized, and he had talked to him. Can you remember? Because, I mean, go ahead.
Yes, it was we wasn't even talking about John 3:16 that couple days. We didn't even thought about it for some reason. And then just normal, we're working around and such, you know. And then he came in through that message, and I had to go look it up. It says, for whomsoever.
Yeah.
And once George recognized that with his other buddies, he's like, they all stood up like, holy crap, we have a chance because we are here. We are spirit in the physical world. You know,
that's right.
Physical has no dominion over your spirit. You're out of here as fast as you are here. You know, your physical is just clay, dirt, nothing.
So that whole group was celebrating. Those giants were celebrating because they realized they still had a chance, and that was pretty cool.
That kept their lights on. That turned their lights on brighter now, because now they're like, I got a chance. It's like my spirit's on the other side. I'm living forever now. I'm everlasting now.
And another story about, you know, basically God working with us and working with Bigfoots and giants. Scott had gone out to the Rocky Mountains, was working with a group out there, and they really wasn't picking up on what he was laying down. You know what I'm saying? And he was standing there, had his hands up in the air. We found this out later on, but he had his hands up in the air, kind of like giving it up to God, saying, you know, whatever, use me, whatever. And while he was doing that, the other Bigfoots were standing. He was in the dark. They were standing behind him. And on his back was a silhouette of lightning bugs lit up the silhouette of his body and was flashing up and down and then going up and down his chakras. And so the Bigfoots that were kind of like, we're not really with them. The next day, they're like, hey, buddy, we're kind of with you. Because that was like a message from God that, hey, we've sent this guy to help you guys. And so that was cool, right? I mean, it still blows my mind, that story. And but I mean,
that imagery that came from me. That came from the other clan that's on the Rocky Mountain side. I saw it through their eyes. They tuned in. Or I tuned in to Scott to see how he was doing, and I saw that he was just giving it up. And then the next couple of days, because I was like, what is that about? I don't get the message I'm getting with this, you know, because I'm seeing through his eyes, and I see that he's looking over a field, and he's just like gave his hands up and put his head to the ground like, I'm done. I don't know about this whole freaking ordeal about this place over here. So later on, that's when he came back, and then I saw through the other eyes of them, and Scott coming back, recognizing what they're talking about, that I saw through their eyes that what happened was the silhouette was forming with the lightning bugs and such. And shining up and down his back and such. That's where I saw that image from. After Scott came back and noticed a different heart in all those Bigfoots that was with him. But it's crazy.
Scott and his dad's more of a, he does a lot out and then comes back. They have the big meeting in the Smokies every year, but anyway, they go out all the way up through Canada, all the way out through the Rockies and Mexico, and they come back around, and it's just tribe work, all the tribes working with each other, what's going on, what's happening, that kind of stuff. It's just a normal thing. It's a route, and Scott's doing more and more of, some of his dad's route and stuff like that. But anyway,
the females, they seem like they keep a clan base at the house, try to stick with the other females here in certain areas of the Appalachian Mountains, just like kind of like the natives in the back in the day. What they used to do is run to tribe. I forgot what they called that. That's where they get together, powwow, when they get together and party or doing that ordeal. But they travel to each other clans and such like that. Dad explained it already.
Yeah.
They do that.
Bigfoot party is so big we can't go. You'd have to raise your heartbeat and your energy. We'd have to do some mushrooms or something. There's some cocaine. I don't know, something. You can't go. You can't go to no Bigfoot party because those Bigfoots, they are rowdy and charged up and just family and everything. I mean, if you ever been to a big family reunion, it can get crazy.
It can get crazy with some family members you know of.
It's like the old time rendezvous back in 1800s. That's what they called them back then, is a rendezvous.
Rendezvous. Okay.
Yeah. And you're right. They do. They gather once a year, but then I think it's once. Gene, help me out here. Is it ever 5 years that all the alphas gather and they make the decisions? They have the smaller ones every year, and I think the bigger ones are every 5 years. And but they do that. And most of your Bigfoot clans are maternal, matriarchic. Is that the word for it? The mothers make the decisions.
Yeah. Right. The way I think that's the way the
7 years. Right. Gene said it's every 7 years for the big rendezvous. Okay. Like I said, Gene knows a lot more about this than I do. I'm still just learning.
She's filled us in lots of stuff. Always has. And if you catch her in the chat, right, just pay attention. You learn something.
Exactly. Make sure you're looking at that comment right there.
Yeah.
There's several good people too putting in good comments. I've been watching. I'm like, hey, that's a good comment.
Yeah. Well, we try to post the good ones. Since I'm doing the talking today, Coley's been posting them instead of me. Usually I'm posting and she's talking.
I've been switching back and forth, so I am not as on the ball as Pops is sometimes. So
it's nice having three people because, like I said, one person kind of take care of this, talk to them, see how this is going, keep things alive, make sure everything's working. It's usually we do like two in the meeting, and it's pretty hectic for one person to try to interview and keep the electronics on, keep the lights on. That's a job.
You want to acknowledge everybody, and I don't want to. And there's times where I'm like into the chat, and it's like I'm glad when there's somebody else.
Yeah, and that's it. We wouldn't. There's no purpose for any three of us to be here if it wasn't for them. And we're like, dude, these are the reason we're here because they come to visit us. So we're like,
right.
And I'm like you guys. I mean, the chat is they've got to be number one.
Absolutely.
That's the only reason.
I'm usually behind the scenes. I'm on the second and fourth Monday on Pop's panel, of course, I'm on. And now Coley's talked me into coming on every Tuesday as a co-host. Cool. But normally I'm just back behind the scenes helping her.
Doesn't he feel like he's been doing this forever? I said he fit right into the spot. You'd never be able to, didn't he? He does a great job.
I hadn't realized you guys have, cooked up a little deal and got them working and stuff. I'm like, I'm glad. Yeah, it's about time you get to work. You got 30 something channels to mod, and you also do a talk show.
Yeah, so there's no reason we can't add 500 more things on his daily list of things to do. Did you see how well he has 8 chat rooms going at one time?
Yeah,
I'm talking. We're gonna break some records here.
I got 3 going right now.
Still.
He's got 3 going right now and doing his show. I mean, he needs
on another channel right now, modding.
I know.
Yeah, that's why I keep looking up, because that monitor up there's got 2 more chats on it.
Yeah, I love it. We love it.
You should see the setup. It's crazy. All these different screens, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but
Right. And he
you
still
know.
will keep up with the conversation. And like I say, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I think it's really cool. And like I said, with him being involved with everybody, he knows everybody personally. He's going camping with people, so he's pulling people together more and more, in all
He
kinds
needed
of
a
ways.
meeting
It's
place.
exciting.
That's exactly it. Yeah. I said, I'm
Right.
glad he did. He was reluctant to, and I said, this is a good place for you. You can talk to everybody, and he loves to, sit in the chats and talk back and forth with people. And like, he's such a natural at it. Usually when people start, not Gary, no, he's sweeping right through this. I
Yeah,
think he's really,
you found a
Yeah.
gem that you would never think. I mean,
no,
he's
yeah,
definitely a
he
gem.
is a gem. Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
he is.
For
You
sure.
found
I wish that y'all could have made the LBL last month. It's the first time Lori and Cindy got to go, and they really enjoyed it. But I've been to LBL meet and greets several times. I've been to Alabama meet and greets, and everybody's just family. I mean, we're all family, pure and simple. And that's why I said I wish y'all could have made it.
Oh, yeah,
But
I can't wait to
I'm
meet all these
tickled pink to find a couple people that actually think like I do, because not very many people think like I do. But you believe just like I do on most everything.
Right. Oh wow.
Yeah,
right.
well, you took a lot of, you and Chloe is one of the people, and then Angel Wings and Jamie and a bunch of other people. They took a lot of relief off Matt, because Matt thought, he's in this world alone, and he's crazy.
Yeah. I was
Speaking
going to
of,
school trying to keep my little hearing these things away from me. I was like, man, I just gotta silent this stuff out, because going through school and trying to talk about what I'm hearing and seeing and such, like seeing a girl that walks around the corner and go over there and there's nothing there. Like, there's certain things you don't talk about in school, and that was like one of those cases. And it's like, man, I gotta hold back. And seeing all these people like Chloe and so many people SOS CHT and so many other people, man. And there's a lot of great people that has worked spiritual work so very well. I'm like, guys, does anybody know that we're spirit? We're all freaking spirits. We're not physical. This body is just nothing. Right. It's just a big old flesh meat.
We're material in the spirit world.
We're minerals in the spirit
world.
We're
material in the police song is we're spirit in the material world. No, we are material in the spirit world. You
Speaking of Chloe,
this body, someone's punch you, knock you out, your spirit leaves immediately. We are spirit. We are material. This is material in a spirit world. And that's
while y'all are speaking of Chloe, would y'all get a hold of her and have her get a hold of me, or
yeah, sure.
Coley One, like to get her on the show, Tuesday night show.
Yeah, that'd be great. Awesome. Yeah, she'd love to. Yeah, we were just watching her today. She was on Julio's channel, Anchor Haven. Yeah, we were watching her today, and it was a good meeting. But yeah, we'll get in touch with Chloe. Let Chloe get in touch with Gary.
Go ahead and get talking to Chloe. Good.
Get that straightened out.
Straighten them up. Straighten her up.
She can get either one of us, me or Coley, either one.
Okay.
But we'd like to schedule her for Tuesday night.
Yeah. She'd love to. She's really good at tuning in. You've probably seen her on Rob's channel. She's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, she just goes right into, you're doing this one thing and you maybe stop doing that. And they're like, how the hell you know all this? And I'm like, she's the real thing. Chloe is.
She just oversees the energetic things going on, and then she's able to connect and try to figure out what needs what.
She was trying to basically get out of Australia because she's so targeted, and we've been working with her for last year. She tried to get out and couldn't. They broke her car, tried to run off a cliff, all this stuff. Eventually, this year, she basically won the lottery enough to come over. She stayed with us for about a week, went to conferences here and there, and visited people, but it was a blessing to have her around for just a week, and she's back in Australia. But I think the main thing was she went to Mount Shasta, which is the Rocky Mountains is the feminine dragon. So Mount Shasta is a boob. That's why it's such a healing place. When you go to those 7 mountains, those are all boobs on the female.
Yeah.
The Appalachian is the masculine dragon. That's why over here and in Tennessee and stuff, you got corn, whiskey, tobacco, masculine energy, communication. Believe it or not, though, the masculine dragon is a major good communicator, which we communicate through the quartz and crystals here compared to the Rocky Mountains. But anyway,
those dragons, the Appalachian and the Rocky Mountain, they're like dog dragons. They're not scaly. Maybe the female dragon, she might have some scales on her legs or something like that, but she's all fluff of feathers,
soft
feathers and fur. That's what I was trying to say. Feathers and fur. Actually, fur.
Kind of like the dragon from the Never-Ending Story.
Never-Ending Story. Mom's talking about
the dragon from that. Yeah.
Well, that's the galactic dragon, the one that's up in the solar system. The one I looked at the CERN and goo, and
but that's
a whole different topic.
We talked today with Ray on what's his name? Ray.
Star Card podcast.
Oh, yeah, but
okay. Where were you going?
What's his name? Ray. Breakaway Ray. We're talking to him a little bit today, and that was one thing. Let me kind of put out to you, Gary. You guys might like, because I've been realizing you've got the Appalachian is a male dragon that lay down back when Mars and Meldot got blown up and all that kind of crap. Which we learned all that stuff talking from George to Gaia, blah blah blah. But anyway, and now the Rocky Mountain is a female. That's the female dragon. And if you notice, it's more feminine, and that's the west coast of our country. The east coast is the masculine. Now the northeast is where you get a lot of talkers. That's where the brain of the masculine dragon is the northeast, the mouth. Right, if you think about that. Mm-hmm. But if you notice, and you pay attention, the Appalachians, whiskey, tobacco, coal, stuff like that. Now you get out to California, you're going to have the strawberries, sweeter, the energy. Also, the people in California, they're having a beautiful day. It's sunny, and they're all happy and cheery. You come to Tennessee, and we're like, I got to go hunting, got to go coon hunting, I've got to put out some tobacco. It's a totally different energy. I know when Chloe came here, I was kind of concerned about, can she deal with this masculine Appalachian energy, because it's heavy. And West Coast are coming to the Appalachians, and a lot of people are moving to Tennessee. They're going to go through some energy changing and adapting. And if you ain't used to it, it's going to be hard. I mean, we used to be truck drivers, and we'd go to California every weekly. So I love sitting on the Golden Gate Bridge every week, and it was beautiful, and the energy's always great. And Arizona and all that's beautiful. And then I come back out to the Appalachian and feel like old hound dog.
Yep, you're ready to go to bed.
I'm like you. I've been everywhere but North Dakota. I was a cross-country trucker myself.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So I've been through all them. I've had that feeling, of where it was soft and where it was hard. But I tell you that the one I never could figure out is up in Pennsylvania in those mountains.
I'm glad you're saying it.
Yeah, I've got a couple of buddies up in PA, and I understand how they're crazy, because it is PA.
That energy in PA is something.
Yeah, energy is. Rob's up there.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys haven't calculated PA, but PA and Sasquatch, PA, Josh. I got a lot of PA friends, and it's an energy up there. People. It's fast, and it's hard for me down here in Tennessee. And on this part of the dragon, it's different.
Yeah. Well,
I love them all, though. Anyway,
it was beautiful up there. Don't get me wrong; it's beautiful up there. I can't even think of the name of the mountains now. But if you run I-80 across the top of Pennsylvania, you'll run through them, and it is beautiful. But man, it's just got the oddest feeling.
Yeah,
you can't figure it out.
I think that there's another being that was laying on top of the dragon wherever that happened, and I'm like wondering if that is the energy we may be feeling. I haven't truly tuned into it very well, but
it could have been.
I'm still trying to work on that.
Yeah, because when Baldeck got blown up and all that went down, these dragons lay down on Gaia to protect her. That
might have been the womb.
And they always tell you, during bad times, ride the dragon's back. That's what they mean, is find cover up on the mountains in the holes, because that's, if the waters rise, you better be going towards the mountains. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, and it's the different parts of the dragon puts out different energy. I'm wondering about Washington D.C. might be put like near the heart, because the the Native Americans knew you could go to this part of America and get healing. You can go this part to get, what you need.
Yeah.
It is. And that's an interesting thing about our country is it's actually divided left and right. Left being feminine, right being masculine. We're actually are a divided country with two energies that has to balance out. So, I mean, the whole thing, Tennessee is left and right, East Tennessee and West Tennessee. It's total left and right, but it's a fascinating topic.
Right.
Well, that's like Oklahoma. You take east of I-35 and it's rolling hills, forests, totally different. You get out west of 35 and it's deserts and open areas. And it's just a total different feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. They have the male Appalachian dragon here, his gonad is down near
Lost City.
Lost City. That is, if you can get down there, which you can, there's a cave that goes to it. It's the Fountain of Youth. Now the female in the Rocky Mountains, also there's a place over there that's the same place, and where her parts are, that there is a Fountain of Youth in the Rocky Mountains too.
Mm-hmm. But it's a different type of healing.
That's where the Bigfoots go to vacation.
See,
that's a whole different topic.
well,
but
one thing about George, going back to that topic, because it was when he was coming through the caverns and going up into that hole that we were talking about, and he sees these algae. Well, the algae that I was seeing is the algae that he walked into was a blue. No, it was a green algae, glowing green algae when he walked in, when he got out of the water. And then to the left was a blue algae, and then to the right was a orange algae. And he went to the orange algae, and there's like yellow algae too. There's different types of color algae that's glowing. All of it's glowing, neon colors type of deal. And those type of algae are really super healing. Even in the Lost Sea Adventures, we were just in, and they were talking about a lot of that water or a lot of that certain type of algae got some healing properties. The natives used to done something with it or something. They, of course, drank it too. Yeah.
The Ozarks, they won't let you drink that water. They say it's polluted, but they still control it. All the government actually came in, put buildings, pumped all the water through the buildings. Now you got to pay to go get into that water. But like you said, these waters that are coming up are very healing.
Yes.
They have been forever, but now they're capitalizing on them by sticking a building on top of them and charging you to go in and get in some water.
Well, water is completely purified when it's underground, undisturbed for so many years. It's purely purified. And then the ground and everything else is just filtering it. And then you got the healing algae if it goes through it. And then you got like mineral water. And plus, who knows what you got going on. It just gets better, the water, spring waters and such.
Yeah.
Well, everything is water. I mean, everything is water. You cannot have anything without having water. So water is going to be I don't care what you're getting into, water is going to be a factor of it. Now, whether it be good spring water like you're talking about, or that old muddy red water down there at the Red River between Oklahoma and Texas, it don't matter. It's still water, and it's still going to affect everything that comes around it.
Yeah, we have water rights to ours, and Coca-Cola is interested in it. Of course, they're wanting to buy all the water, but we actually have access to the aquifer, and Matt's the only one that's actually been. I call it Matt's cave, but he's the only one that's actually been in the aquifer, and the only one that knows is even there. But Coca-Cola knows it's there because it's rolling outside, just rolling out by the road, and they're like, "Hey, look at all this water." But but like you said, we haven't actually took a string and bobber and checked the depth of this aquifer. I want to really bad, but we haven't gone back in a while.
We call it aquifer because when I went back there, I had my goggles on and my bright light, and I was going back there and start swimming down, and it was a big old ledge, going to another ledge, and I was swam down, brought my feet straight up and going down, and it was about 4 ledges. It was about 2 ledges to the right of me, and I could see more ledges below me with my light also shining darkness down below. Like it's still going down. I'm like, holy crap. And I'm completely upside down swimming down, and I can't touch bottom, of course, and can't even see bottom. And that's how deep it is. And it's just a little spring coming out of the ground, just a little spring. You would not thought it would go down. I didn't thought it was going to go down either.
That's just topping off that aquifer.
But I said, see, that's something else you got to watch too. There's a lot of evil in water. Depends on where you go, but some of the water is evil. Or not the water itself, but what's in the water is evil.
I would call that not clean energies. What do you call that? It's not that. It's unresolved things that happened in the water. You know, some person died in some wrong way in that water, and that spirit's lingering on that water till justice gets served. You know, sometimes the spirit just needs to move on or try to get some type of justice that something's going to prevail into helping them or something. I don't see things like evil as in being evil. I see evil having an appointment day to like get justice.
The energy stuck in the crystals there. Like up here, we had to, we had a family feud up here, so we've had to plant flowers and burn tobacco with that area. We got some flower. We got some somewhere right here. We got a jar of wildflowers that we're going to go put in that area because that energy stuck to that land. It's been there for a long time from a feud that happened long time ago. And so, like you said, clearing off because it's stuck, and water holds that energy. And if you don't, bless the water somehow, or help see that they are stuck in a very black place.
The land holds that energy too.
Right. And it took, we started burning tobacco here on our property because we wanted to do something for Scott's birthday one year, and his birthday, you could tell because when the flowers fall off the poplar tree, and so, but he didn't want peanut butter and apples, and I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, what if the Bigfoots want? And it was kind of like bless the land, and we're like, fine, I guess. And we went up and sat down and burnt tobacco, and the dragonflies came, and the bushes bloomed, and the birds came, and the good birds came, and the good animals come, and it's like now we, on a regular basis, one of the three of us will burn some tobacco. Or we were just up there. We were up on the hill with Chloe this last week or 2 weeks when she was here, and we burnt tobacco on that hill. But there's something to blessing the land and tobacco. I don't know how it works, but it works.
It works. Something about the tobacco, the spirit, energy, essence of the tobacco. I don't know what it is. The intentions being put out. I mean, Scott, he was like, the reason why he wanted a blessed land is whenever he's walking through it, it won't be a fatigue on him just walking through an area that has uncleaned area. So it's like walking through an area that's clean, he can actually find rest and be able to like stop for a few minutes or for that night and just rest and then continue on because he found a good clean energy to sit down at. That's what he was looking for. And he's like, dude, it's nice. He says it's still a very nice home base to get to every now and then. And he does swing by every now and then.
Yeah, there's a place we go up in Kentucky, and that's where we went out last fall and put out spring flowers, went to all the burial mounds and put out spring wildflowers. And so we got to get up there and see how that's going. And tobacco, only all of them, because sage. But because they thanked us for coming up there as human beings, just going out there and just being there and being good. It's good for the land, really. Humans can play music. They can, I think Force Friend or some of these people that are in the chat, a lot of them do that. They figured that stuff out.
Yeah.
Well,
do you
creators, Like,
you go up and you burn tobacco. Do you gift them tobacco?
We've tried that, and we bought what tobacco was it? We bought chew and try to gift it to them, and they didn't touch chew. I was like, well, probably because it's not like the green leaves. I think they want green leaf tobacco.
Well, we ever gift is like apples, and
they
that's really that. Yeah, they do that. But we also know maybe the deer get them because it's like feeding the forest, And I don't know if the Bigfoots are going to get them or the deer is going to get them. I don't really care because it's all the same. Because the Bigfoots are happy that you're feeding their turkey or their deer. Because that's a lot of times since they're basically forest farmers, that's their buddies, their pals, and their pets, and so
Like some of the
Yeah.
tree arches that they make that are like just curved like so. They use that for their old turkeys so they can help them up and have them roost on that more off the ground. Instead of
Yeah.
having to fly up, they can crawl up a crooked branch type of deal. That's what I was told by Scott the forest farmer.
And so
See,
really, just the
Gene
gift.
just brought up a good point. Chemicals are added to the chewing tobacco that you buy at the store.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But
And so
I've
we didn't
talked
give
to
them
a-
none of our- yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of people that gives them tobacco that they raise that's pure.
Mhm. Now we have sent seeds all over the world, from Portugal to Australia
even though
to
it's illegal, but-
Canada. Might have been illegal a few times, but we have sent seeds everywhere. So anybody, my email is TKB-Tennessee at proton.me. If you send me your address, we usually send out tobacco seeds.
Mhm.
We put, like I said, we send them out to anybody. Because I mean, it's a hard plant, but once you get them out there, they're like a weed and they grow. And I do believe that people need it for their health, for bug bites, to bless their land, to smoke and enjoy.
Mhm.
In Australia, it's more highly managed than marijuana. I mean, you can get some serious trouble in Australia trading
Yeah.
tobacco. So, but that's wrong. That's powerful medicine, and spiritually it's got great benefits and all that good stuff. And it's good to be sharing these seeds. You give people seeds, you're spreading that good intention. So that's good.
I just saw Charo in the chats. I'm not smoking your smokes this time. I remember doing a live with her and I was smoking. I put my head to the side smoking. I was like looking like I was smoking her smokes.
Yeah.
Remember Jane.
I
I was calling her. Yeah, but Jane.
Chiro, yeah.
Chiro.
She goes by Chiro, but her name is Jane, yeah.
Right.
Now,
Errol, he's cool.
I don't have any tobacco here at all, even cigarettes or anything. I quit smoking 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And what's funny is when I quit smoking is when my health went to pot. I quit smoking in February, and May I had a heart attack.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. See, it's got all that nicotine, and nicotine, of course, is getting a horrible name. But we save our nicotine. We make nicotine tinctures. Nicotine is in all your green plants. It's all in all the green stuff. It's all the good stuff.
Yeah.
All the people that were smoking, none of them never got COVID because they're like, I don't know what's going on with this whole COVID thing, but I feel fine.
Tobacco actually fights back against flus. If you take some tobacco, you'll fight against the flus. Like you could just eat some dried tobacco. It's also antibacterial and so many other things. And instead of, I see someone talking
on there, bro.
Yeah, tobacco got a lot of health benefits.
Well, the thing is, I didn't know this, Gary. Did you know that mushrooms breathe oxygen like humans? I didn't know that. That's like that's like they're humans. We're humans that separated from the land are walking around, I guess.
Your regular mushrooms do. Now, some of the toadstools don't.
Okay.
But the mushrooms do.
Okay.
Now, I can't think of the one it's called that looks like a cow patty on the side of a tree.
Turkey tail.
Turkey tail.
Yeah, they do. And they're good for the tree, too. People knock them off the tree, but they're actually good for the tree.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot you can learn just by, you got to read and listen. And that's how I've learned everything, is just by listening.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's about keep your eyes on good things. I'm like you, Gary. We don't let our TV sit there and run. We go and, we sit down and we find someone on. We see Midwest or see somebody on. We tune into good people and follow good information. That's important, people, to get, know good people and follow good people, because there's plenty of them out there.
Yes,
there is plenty of
there's a lot of good channels, and most of the people that's in chat right now know who them channels are. Mm-hmm. I haven't been posting them because most people know them. Mm-hmm. And well, you guys talk for a few minutes, tell some tell some experiences, and I'll be right back.
Okay, cool.
All
right, Matt.
Well, switch from. I'll just read some of the comments since I'm here.
Okay. Sure.
So, How can I get rid of rabies in yard without killing them? Outside cause a chance he will yank her down. Well, I think you scare rabbits. I don't know. Right?
Scare rabbits?
I think she said rabbits or rabies, but I think it's rabbits.
How to scare rabbits? Bottle rockets.
Yep. Hey, chicken hawks. I never saw a chicken hawk dodge from a 22, but they definitely dodged from a firework, from a bottle rocket.
Yeah, we keep bottle rockets. That's our defense against chicken hawks and anything else. They just, for some reason, a bottle rocket.
A dog. I mean, you name it.
Yeah,
they won't come back after you shoot one of those at their butts. Diana Bowles, good to see you.
I've got. I'm going to have a premiere come out tomorrow night. It's just 10 minutes long. It's on some caves here in Tennessee. I used to run East Tennessee caves. I was in the caving way before I was into Bigfooting. And I think I got 4 or 5 caves that we shot. Some old video. It's interesting. If anybody wants to catch that, it's sometime tomorrow. I ain't put it up yet, but it's just fun video with good music. Neat looking cave. We have this one cave we're going to that's been cut into a mountain that I think we're the only, there's only a few people knows about this one, but it's the most decorated. Now Tennessee has more caves than any state, according to AI. I thought it was Missouri, but AI says Missouri's second to Tennessee. And I think, okay, whatever, whether, how it is, every time you have to turn around, it's a new Mandela effect. But I was just telling them, Jerry, that we used to run East Tennessee caves forever. And so I was in the cavings for a long, long time. And I traded in private caves information, basically. You had a private cave, I would share a private cave with you. And we did a lot of caving. And we do have a cave that we want to shoot this year. There's one of the most decorated as far as stalagmites and stalactites. It's got about a 30 or 40 foot white angel stalagmite leaning back in this thing. It's unbelievable. So we've been working on getting our lights ready. We want to go shoot that, try to get a high quality video out on that, just because when you walk in the back of the straws, it's impossible to walk through here and not touch something. But like I said, we got to get up there and shoot that in high quality. I've never shot it in high quality. It's a wet cave. You walk up to about your knees in water. But Tennessee's got just so many great caves. And we telling you about the that place down below the one below Lost Sea. Yeah, we're telling you about that. Now that's that it's got there's about a 7 mile
2 miles straight down, 7 miles from the radius.
7 mile, there's a 7 mile walk cave down to it. And there's rangers that are still in there. Been in there since the 30s, because you won't die there because of that algae. You can't ever die because it revives you constantly. And they haven't I don't know if they can make it back up to the surface just because of how long they've been down there mentally. But that's a journey that we want to make to that cave system. And we've already been told you will have to microdose to make the trip there and back. It's super like spiritual. That's what Gary was telling you about Bigfoot's vacation. They take their children really, really young to break them from fear at a very young age. I mean, Scott was just 2 weeks old, and he was fighting monsters in this place where you heal, right? Trying to imagine, but what happens is you heal, and so you realize not to fear, but it's that
there was no such thing as fears. To break the paradigm of fearing, it's that loud sound when you're a baby. You're like, what the heck was that? Well, you got to create more loud sound for the child, so the child be more like, oh, just a loud sound in the distance. It's part of breaking the first what do you call that, first punch, or the first sketched, or breaking that first sketchy fear,
I guess, facing fear the first time you turn from the truth. That's kind of like fear. I mean, our baby peeps, if you ever raise peeps from an egg in a little incubator, they're born with no fear, but they're also born with no love.
Yeah,
they don't know either. And you have to teach them. You have to teach them love, and they look at you as a giant, and you're picking them up and you're petting them, and they're like, oh, "What are you going to eat me?" And you got to teach them. I mean, that's their first. You're their first fear. And then you got to teach them love. No, I'm not here to eat you. But it is, it's amazing, what you learn by nature. Nature teaches that stuff, of course.
Yeah, there was another thing about that chicken ordeal. our neighbor with his chickens, we drove our four-wheelers over there, and all of his chickens are terrified of the four-wheelers. They just run everywhere like, what the hell am I supposed to do with the four-wheeler? Ah! Right? They have full of fear of a four-wheeler because they don't know what it is. So they're full
Yeah.
of, and our peeps and such, I was driving by them just the other day, let alone the other flocks when I drove by them. I looked at them, and they're like on the corner first, and I'm like, well, he's waving at me. I guess it's not a problem. Well, okay, just get back to eating. That's pretty much what happens, and they don't have that fear of the four-wheelers, wild things.
And we teach people that come here, especially kids, do not pick up, chase, run after our chickens at all. They do not like you. How would you like for me to pick you up? Don't do it. So we don't. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want something big giant picking you up. And then you know, we have happy chickens. A lot of people don't even know how to have. You can have happy chickens. You can have a happy family. That's our children right now. You know, this is my youngest son, but our chickens.
We might not be a happy family, but our plants and chickens are.
Exactly right.
Well, yeah, I've got a Christmas cactus that a friend from Alabama gave me, and I talk to it. I take care of it. It's part of my family. My cat's part of my family.
Right.
So it's, you know, it's the same. They're not just pets. They're your family. Everybody in chat's got some kind of animal or a plant that is their part of their family. And the way you are situated out there, it's sure that way. They're not just pets. They're not just food. They're part of your family. I used to raise hogs, and they were part of the family. Even though I had to butcher one every couple months to feed my family, they were still part of the family, you know.
Right. That's
trying to get Coley back in here.
Yeah, that's another interesting one.
Yeah.
And you had a question in the chat there. He was that one there. I can't run the chat back and forth because the screen I'm on, obviously. Don't turn that on.
That's a problem.
But I had two thoughts come at one time. I'm going to answer that question. And also, he was talking about his cactus. Had me on a different thought. Let me see if we can get that.
I'm looking for it.
Okay. I'm kind of like stuck on the screen. Oh, here we go. I'm finally back.
You talking about, has ever seen any S-walkers in caves?
Yeah, and that, we'll see, a little twisted. That had, we've had conversations with Scott. Now we got, that's a whole different topic. We can get into the topic of vril, V-R-I-L too. But anyway, so Scott, you know, has been good about making us understand it. First of all, if you're underground, you hear scratching.
When you hear stuff like that, that's when you need to be wary. That's when the vril's doing something, digging, coming towards you, or coming a direction, and you don't want to be in its way for some reason, from what he was saying.
Yeah, it's got certain caves. They use those, and Scott avoids all the caves with the ETs. But luckily, we have not. I have been growled at. I got growled at by George in a cave one time. Me and him was caving up in this place down here, and I was going up between these big boulders, and this big giant boulder to the side of me went. Rrr. I felt it into my chest and my stomach, and I came through, and I looked at Matt, and I was like, get out of the way, man. And Matt was like, what's the matter with you? And I was like, dude, something just growled at me. Ugh. And it got down into my bones. I felt that so deep. But George, you couldn't see him because I guess they can get out of our visual spectrum, you know.
They cloak.
Yeah, like cloaking,
yeah.
Right? But
Yeah.
he was there. But later on, we had found out that he would happen to be there when we were there. And he also told us there's an underground lake in that cave. But he has to move like a boulder for him to go in and out. And I was like, well, do me a favor. Oh, he's like, well, you guys could. I was like, he goes, well, you guys can't really get there because, you know, you don't have a way there. And I was like, well, I got a friend that's a giant, so maybe he can help me out. So anyway, George is a funny guy.
Yeah, he's saying he's in the North Pole right now, so it'll be a while.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
That's what he's saying. Just now. It's funny.
Yeah, I done forgot what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, we're all over the place. Was having a good time.
Yeah,
She's
real. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's like 3 types of vril too. You got the small one, medium size, and the big one. And the big one is where the small vril came from that you put inside your eye and such like that.
The one's the Black Eye Club.
The Black Eye Club and such like that. So there's a lot into the vril that the topic goes deeper into, you know.
Yeah.
And
Twisted wants to know what a bill is.
Vril.
um,
It's you can look up the Vril Society and find more about how some of the Germans were using them. Like you said, Matt's talking. There's different ones. There's some that are so small they put them in. It's kind of like a little worm that does telepathy. I'm just throwing this part in there and then it like takes over, and it some other shares your consciousness. I don't know how that works, but you've seen all the black eye clubs. The people with the black eyes, supposedly they went through that process of putting one of those in. But you also have the ones underground that scratch and have powers too. I think it's maybe the Germans were talking to them telepathy, and that was one of the people that they started working with before the Germans and the Japanese made breakaway societies. Hold up there, I don't know.
right, the Germans started creating condiments that you put on the store shelves, and with Vril in it. I forgot what that was called, and it was supposed to do something with help you out in thinking and hearing and feeling, and give you a high and make you live forever and such, but you kind of lose something in return or something.
Well, and that might be related to the black goo, which might be related to the Vril in some way. Because see, the black goo is also something that if you get hooked on it, you lose your humanity, but you get like superpowers. And two places that I've heard of that this black goo is in the Black Cuba Mecca that everyone prays to, and also the praying wall. Now, I don't know. I'm just telling you, but you ever notice how the people get in front of these things and they're like really possessed? But something to do with it, you lose your humanity, black goo, and it's kind of related to the Vril. They're almost in the same type of stuff that people get connected to, that they lose their humanity, but they get power. And you know how people are about power. A lot of people are willing to trade.
Yeah, you gain the physical, but you lose your spirit. And like what we talked about in the beginning, your spirit is encompassing the physical all the time, and it's just huge. And
Bro. Yeah, there he goes. John Allen's put more in about it. Supposed to be a telepathic powers, highly advanced technology. Yeah,
right.
If you go to the Wayback Machine, one of the guys at Marshall, he still got there. Actually, I have a link, but it's way down on YouTube on one of my communities about the Vril, and I've got it pointed to the Wayback Machine, so you could pull up that page that has been removed, and it is all that put together about the Vril Society and the Vril, because that is a whole lot of topic that it's not talked about at all. It's very few people even bring that topic up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're coming up on 2 hours.
Okay, cool.
You guys up to coming back on?
Yeah.
You said it. We're in it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's been good talking to you. We will muster it up, man, and find some time, because you got such a great bunch of people that came out and hung out with us, man. So I'm like, dude, I think a lot of them come in here to see Pops. And I don't blame them. I'm here with Pops. Pops is there. I'm on the air because I'm like, oh, that guy there has been, and Gene, they've been backburners for a long time, and I'm glad to see them finally getting a little bit of airtime, because it's hard being in the back cheerleader hall. And
Yeah.
I do want to tell you that we might be having, I'm hoping, me and Matt's hoping to have what you want to call a no zipper proof meeting, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This year, and so or whenever it comes, but it's about that time. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what, I don't know when. I got to get with Coley, because I don't know who she's got for the next couple of weeks. But we'll get you back in here I don't know, it might be, well, if we put you on the panel, it would be in either November or December.
Yeah. Do us about every 6 months or so. So we'll
okay, well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, put us on about 6 monthly. That way we can catch up on because by then we'll have a lot of stuff we want to dump off our chest.
And we usually have more time in the fall and winter time when the farming season is slowing down for us.
Yeah,
all right,
we finally got rain. That's the only reason we're actually stopped today.
Yeah.
I've got November opens for Pop's panel. So I'll get with you and see which November or December, which one you want to get. And we'll get you back on here because I know you got a lot more for that you can teach people. And that's what we're out for. You and me both. We're out for teaching people what we can to help them. Now, before we get out of here, though, y'all got anything else that you want to say to the chat before you leave?
I just want to thank everybody for supporting us, coming in, being positive and good people, and supporting each other and laughing and having a good time. And, just that really helps us want to do this and want to spend any time on YouTube because, like I was telling Pops before the show, this is entertainment. None of us, we put a lot of time and effort into this and we don't get anything out of it except for friendship and good times, and really good to see people going camping and having a good time in the Bigfoot world. So everybody's got experiences. Come on, talk with Pops. Pops is he's one of the more open-minded people you will find. I don't think many, they're all opening up, but Pops is a leader in that. So cool.
Heck yeah. I really thank everybody for speaking out what has happened in their lives, and Pops, thank you for speaking out. I'm like, I don't even recognize some of the things I say that can affect so many people in this world. And I'm like, thank goodness that other people do catch good hearts that are just telling how they see it. And I thank every one of y'all for doing what y'all know is right. Stand up for the truth and talk about what you know and what you experience. I thank you all very much. And all the good communicators in the chat that are fun.
We appreciate y'all coming on and sharing your knowledge with us. And that's what you're doing. You're sharing your knowledge with all of us, not just me, but everybody in chat. And not just the ones that's in chat right now, but the people that are going to watch the show later. That's the thing about it. Everybody always says in chat, but we kind of forget about the people that's going to come on and watch it later. Mm-hmm. But we'll reschedule you to come in on Pop's panel and sometime later this winter. And then you're going to have to put up with Lori and Cindy because they're on the panel.
Yeah. And the more we can get probed, the better off this guy is, because I like that. That rocks. I guess it gets some information rocking, right? Let's get some thoughts going.
Get the blood flowing. Get the words rolling.
Well, Matt, like I said, I'm really proud of you for what you're accomplishing. You're spreading the word. That's the good part about it. Keep spreading the word about God and Jesus and how the Bigfoot are good and not all bad. And like I said, we thank y'all for coming on tonight. And we'll be seeing you in chats. I know that. I see you all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Everybody in chat, thank you for coming in. And thanks to the people that's going to watch this show later. And be sure and go watch TKB on his channel. I've been running it through the ticker all night long. So y'all should know his channel by now. And there's a lot of other good channels. We've talked about them. Yeah, everybody have a good night, and we will catch you next time. That should. No, it didn't. Oh, it ain't ended the stream yet.
We do it.